The following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Welcome back to another episode of Today in Sports Betting. Another edition of Today in Sports Betting. I am your host, Devin Ellington, at DALE007 on Twitter. You can find the show and the rest of the group over at hoop-ball.com. Also, check out Hoopball Gaming on Twitter, at Hoopball Gaming. Troy's got the free plays right now. He's looking for a 2 streak. He won last night. Luka Doncic over 29.5 points. Blake coming off that ridiculous 6 free pick heater. 6 straight picks hit. We've got the wager pass up today. Brew led it off. I got to learn how to talk. Brew led it off. He's got the wager pass first 2 plays in. I got 2 in there for some afternoon baseball. And we might see a smidgen of overlay on this episode, but overall, you're going to get all the content in time. You'll just have to act fast once you're listening. Make sure to follow, leave those reviews. New listeners, welcome in. I'm glad to have you. Glad to have you. We're always interested in growing. Speaking of which, recruitment call. If you think you can hop on a podcast, if you know you can, you believe in yourself, reach out. If you think if you think you got the chops to write and stuff, and you want to see about getting some content out there, maybe starting off, something like that. I don't know. Like if you have interest at all. We have a sales side on the website part of the operation. So there's a plethora of things. A plethora. We also got the 2 phenomenal promo codes going on right now still. MyBookie.ag, our wonderful partner and sponsor. Go over there, use promo code HOOPBALL. Bet, win, get paid. I'm short with these intro promos because I drop a recorded minute piece in the middle of the show. But I like to scrub up and, preface what's to come. Manscaped.com. They just put the Lawnmower 4.0 out. I use it. It's wonderful. Trim my belly up, my belly hairs. It's so easy in the shower. It's waterproof. Built-in LED lights, probably my favorite part. 2 different guards, a nice charging base, long battery life, and it's just super easy to use. It glides, and personally speaking, it makes things a whole lot easier. Use promo code HOOPBALL20, HOOPBALL20 to get free shipping and 20% off. On top of that, you get these phenomenal products. They just got this new revamped care kit that's for guys. They got a ball care kit too. And then also all their proceeds, or I can't remember if it's all, but it's a good chunk of proceeds, are going to testicular cancer. So they're trying to save the balls right now. Save the boobies, save the balls, screw cancer. So complete care kit just came out. It's revamped, and they got all sorts of great scrubs, beard oils, and everything else for us gentlemen. Ladies can use it too, I guess. I mean, it's not going to hurt anyone. So probably not for your dogs and your cats. I go off on a wild limb on that one. Guess what? I'm going to start today's show a little different. We have college baseball regionals starting tomorrow. I'm going to run through 5 college baseball regionals. I'm going to follow it up with some MLB rapid fires because it's a Tallysight Thursday. I got to lock in. I got to get loaded. I'm 2 games under 500. I'm pushing top 10. I'm cracking top 15 on NBA playoff picks. So I got to get loaded on that stuff, and we got to get groovy and get moving real quick today. Blake and I gave you the 2-hour mega show yesterday. Today's going to be a little more condensed and abbreviated. So, without further ado, I want to pull up some regional stuff to talk with you about. And actually, let's talk on some big news first at the top. Coach K to retire after this season. Who else had their heartstring tugged a little? If you're a UNC fan, you probably hate the guy. And, there's a collective group of people out there that just don't like Coach K, I guess. But you know what? He is the only basketball coach I've known at Duke since I've been alive. Jim Boeheim, Coach K, and man, I just lost it. Roy Williams. So, he's the last of those three, and it's crazy, It just shows what time does to sports, and the people who influence and shape and coach in these leagues, it changes. So just to, shout out to Coach K. I know he listens to the show every day, and I'm just kidding. He doesn't, but you would have believed it. So we also need to just appreciate what we saw. I mean, coaching like that, and for as long as he did it at the same school, crazy, almost 50 years. I might be off by a couple droves there, but yeah, to the original point, College World Series. The Women's College World Series starts today also in Oklahoma City. You'll probably hear me harp about it a little bit, but here we go. Fayetteville Regional is going to have the number 1 overall seed in Arkansas. These guys can hit. They have some just buzzsaw pitching. They're going against NJIT. That is, for your information, New Jersey Institute of Technology. 26-22 on the season. They get the auto bid into the tournament. Northeastern's also in this bracket, in this regional. And then Nebraska. There's not much to be said in this one. Friday, tomorrow, Fayetteville. I mean, number 1, Arkansas is going to advance out of this regional. Nebraska. And look, I am no professional college baseball expert, but I do like prospects. I do like college teams. I love postseason college events, and I scrub up pretty good. So Northeastern, I would not be shocked if they beat Nebraska in this first game. Nebraska would probably then play New Jersey IT. Arkansas is just going to roll to a 2-0 in this group play. Northeastern, I think they could definitely make some noise coming out of Fayetteville, though, if Nebraska doesn't. If Nebraska doesn't and they allow someone else, Northeastern is going to be the school to get through. Ruston, Louisiana Regional. Louisiana Tech, they are getting a hosting bid here. They're the number 16 team in the country. They got 40 wins on the season. Alabama's also in this grouping. NC State. And then Ryder, yes, MAAC. Yeah, Mac. Love Ryder. I hope they get one win in this group here. NC State's a little iffy, streaky. Alabama, number 2 team in this regional. They finished 3rd, I believe, in the SEC behind Tennessee and Arkansas. Tennessee lost to Arkansas by 1 run in the championship game of the SEC tournament. Alabama, I think they lost pretty early on in the tournament. Stanford Regional, we got Stanford, North Dakota State, 41 wins on the season, North Dakota State. Then Nevada, some Mountain West love, and UC Irvine. This is a really fun pairing right here. I love the 4 teams involved, and honestly, this gauntlet, anyone could come through. We got 2 40-win schools, and then Stanford, the number 9 team in the country, Nevada, real grinded-out teams. So very interesting grouping there in Stanford. How many is that? Is that 3? I talked Lubbock yesterday with Blake, so we will jump through on that. And Tucson, we talked yesterday because Oklahoma State is in that Arizona regional. And then Oxford, I talked, yes. No, I didn't. No, yes, I did. Yeah, because I talked about Ole Miss and Southern Miss, so we will naysay on that. Let's talk about Greenville. East Carolina, number 13 team in the country. 41 wins, did it behind some very dominant pitching. Norfolk State, only team in the tournament under 500. They are 25-26. And the Spartans of Norfolk State, which that's in Virginia, if you were wondering. Instant bid. They are going at noon tomorrow. I will be watching this game. I think it'll be fun. It would be shocking if they win one game, but if they especially beat the number one team in the regional. Maryland and Charlotte round out the rest. Charlotte's got some great pitching. They've got a continuity system there. Some great collegiate players have moved on to the majors, and they've got Charlotte alumnus littered throughout all sorts of divisions of baseball across the world. I mean, Charlotte puts out a lot of players. Hoop ballers. Let's talk about your balls. Yep, your balls and the area around them. Let's talk about manscaped.com. Go there and use promo code HoopBall20, HOOPBALL20. Use the promo code and go check out all the tools they have of trimming the hedges and taking care of your lawn. Like the Lawnmower 3.0 with a built-in LED light to help you get into those dark dye crevices on the inner parts. Also, the Gooch. It is hard to get to the Gooch if you can't see it. So use the LED light with the anti-tugless technology on the razor. Full, long battery life. Then check out the Weed Whacker. Bring that out of the shed. Use it on your shrubs. Cut down what you need, down to bare minimum if you need to. It's got a nice anti-tugless technology just like the Lawnmower 3.0. It's also got a lithium battery. And best news of all, these things are waterproof. So that way you can do it in the shower and take care of business in the cleanest way possible. Hoopball20 is the promo code that's going to get you free shipping as well as 20% off. I recommend using it. I recommend getting the complete care kit with your free shipping and your 20% off. Spend a little extra, get a lot more. There's a good care kit there for us gentlemen. Face scrub, shampoo, ball treatment, and the area that surrounds our balls. I believe there's even a pair of underwear in there for our balls. So yeah. That's going to conclude the talk about our balls. Now let's talk about bets. MyBookie.ag is where all the hoop ballers take care of their winnings and where we place all of our wagers that we post in our article in the Wager Pass, as well as our free plays and our Discord chats. Yes, MyBookie.ag. Use promo code HOOPBALL, HOOPBALL. Let them know that we sent you. Hell, specifically type in my name. I want them to know. But most importantly, you got to let them know what podcast that is. And it is Today in Sports Betting. You let them know that we sent you, and then we, as a family, get to grow. And then we get to set you up to reap more benefits. And that is what's important to us because we are here to help you win money. And that is why we recommend MyBookie. Their slogan is bet, win, get paid. And it's quite simply that easy. Use Bitcoin to get going. It's a high recommendation of VM Center at Vince Miracle, our guy. It's a recommendation of me. It's so easy. Dan Bespris, the Podfather, Aaron Bruschi, the Godfather, they get in there, they get going with Bitcoin, they get their money in and out, and it's easy peasy. Hoopball's the promo code. Use that. Let them know that we sent you. MyBookie.ag. Bet, win, get paid. Now, as a podcast, we have your balls and your bets covered. And without further ado, we have Today in Sports Betting. And wouldn't be shocked if they came out of that division. Nashville, number 4 Vanderbilt, one of the favorites to win the national championship. I'm going to go ahead and say they win it. I like Vanderbilt's pitching. They've got some high stud top prospects. Presbyterian, They are going to be going in the first game against Vanderbilt. Sorry, Presbyterian. And then we got Indiana State and Georgia Tech. Two interesting teams to round this out. I like Indiana State, the Sycamores, the Larry Bird School. And so Vanderbilt, Indiana State, I think, coming out of Nashville. All right, F it. We'll talk Austin, Texas real quick because it's close to home. Of course, Texas, the number 2 team in the country. Man, they beat Oklahoma State in the Big 12 tournament. I believe it was the championship game. And Southern. Okay, I stand corrected. Southern is 20-28, so not just one team under 500 in this tournament. Yeah, so Southern, 8 games under 500 gets into this tournament. Fairfield out of the MAC, 37-3 they are. They had some really good, impressive performances this year, controlling stretches throughout their conference play. And then Arizona State. Interesting grouping. I don't expect Southern to do anything, but if Fairfield and Southern end up playing each other, I could see Southern giving Fairfield a bounce. And then Arizona State, they're not very consistent. So look for Texas to control this generally, Austin Regional. And, I definitely see Texas advancing to the College World Series, the Super Regionals. I love this stuff. Okay. Shot real brief there on the baseball. We got to talk about that. I'm going to transition. I want to talk a smidgen about this Women's College World Series, just highlight a couple of teams because Oklahoma and Oklahoma State both have a really good shot of winning this thing, and there's a chance that we could play each other in the championship game. Not going to happen because the Big 12 struggles a bit in these circumstances, but it's cool because it's in Oklahoma City. It's the 30th anniversary of this tournament, and the pandemic shut everything down last year, so we didn't get it. I mentioned Oklahoma State. They're number 5 in the tournament. OU, the Sooners, the Lady Sooners, they are number 1 overall seed. 50-2 this season. That is just wow. Yeah, and they made quick work of Washington in the Super Regionals, so they clinched the 5th straight World Series appearance for their program. 9-1. Victory over the Huskies is what capped it. They've run ruled teams 34 times this season. Jeez. James Madison. I watched their Super Regional against Mizzou, and James Madison, these girls can play. And of course, I love the small schools, so I'm going to be pulling for James Madison this whole tournament. And Odichie Alexander is a pitcher for them. And she went, I think, 2 straight days in a row. She pitched really, really great against Missouri. Missouri was coming in piping hot. So speaking of the SEC, Georgia's the team to look out for out of that conference. Sydney Chambly's a really stud outfielder. And she's a all freshman team entry for the SEC conference. So 1 of 3 Georgia players to hit better than 300 and tally more than 40 hits. So we talked about Oklahoma State being the number 5 team, got some really great pitching. That's what you need to know. Pitching. Arizona, this is going to be the last season for the skipper here. And it's a heartfelt run. I'll be happy if the Wildcats end up winning. They're number 11th team, 41-13 on the year. But Mike Candrea, like I said, he's got 1,674 victories, which puts him as the sport's all-time winningest coach. And it's just, I'm going to be excited to see how his girls around him just treat him through this tournament. They know it's his last hurrah. They're going to play hard for him. And I would not be shocked to see if Arizona had some good success in this tournament. They got some U.S. national team members on this squad. Deja Mulapola, I believe. I probably butchered that, but she's the catcher, the signal caller. She's like an extension of Candrea on the field. And a lot of slugging, a lot of RBIs on this team. Alabama's also a team out of the SEC to look out for. Florida State's also always a component. UCLA, those girls always have strong pitching. So look for Megan Faramo to go through and maybe have some complete games or one hitters. She's a dominant arm. Like I said, brief scrub on the Women's College World Series. You don't really hear a lot of that on a sports betting show, and I know I didn't really talk betting angles, but if you have, and not every book's going to have that stuff. So if you have interest or you have books, that are out there offering that stuff, at least there's a general scrub that was done, familiarization. We got some things to keep an eye on. There's heavy volume of these games. We're getting like almost 300 games combined of women's softball and men's baseball tomorrow and today. I mean, it's a run of games that's just the sports bettor and then sports fan alike delight. So next, we'll get into the big stuff. And I said I was going to be brief on this, so I am not kidding. We're going to lightning breeze it, and we'll probably get through the NBA card at the very end. But as far as speaking with the games starting here soon, I've got some leans and stuff that I like on the wager pass in the Tampa Bay, New York game, so I'll be brief on that. Yarborough, the lefty on the mound, Garrett Cole pitching for New York. I mean, what else? What more? Yeah, he's pitching. Yarborough's not too bad, but the Yankees lineup is very much so awake status. The last couple of games, I've tried to fade the Yankees, so let me try to, join them since I'm not beating them. So the total's at 7. No opinion for me there. Yankees obvious minus $2 favorite. Huge underdog. The Tampa Bay Rays are. And I think they're cooling off a little bit. That offense woke up for a smidgen of games, but now they're gone. Moving on. Washington, Atlanta is the 11:20 start game. Here's Central. Patrick Corbin, the lefty on the mound. Atlanta. They're sending Tucker Davidson out there on the mound. The arms, I'm laying off. I got to lay off, So the unders in this series, they're 1-2. Or I'm sorry, 2-1. So the under has a chance to obviously go 3-1 in this series. But, water levels out. You heard Blake and I talk about it a lot yesterday, but I don't think that's a huge, strong notion to just purely bet on alone. Obviously, you got to comprise a bunch of things together. So with that being said, I am staying away. I mean, I talked about this division in some of my recaps on Twitter. If you haven't found it, Blake and I do a daily bettors log, like an MLB journal, just kind of recollecting on our woes and our boo-boos. So, yeah, I went 3-8 last night in the wager pass, looking to go real strong today. I left 3 winners off of my card last night. The night before I left a couple off last night. And so it's just, fine tuning. I had a couple losses last night by a hook again. So those are getting less. And then the anomalies, there was a bad anomaly and a good anomaly in my card, so it's just, you take the lumps, you take the blessings, and you just kind of go with it. So Texas, Colorado at 210, Mike Fultonevich, the righty, Austin Gomber, the lefty. I can't back Texas on the road. I tried, I don't have a good feel for them in the road. Colorado's offense is terrible. I tried to go over last night, and they combined for not a lot of runs. Colorado tried to get there. They scored 6 runs, so 9 runs. They couldn't get to double digits. 11 was the total. And today we're looking at 10.5, so they're thinking the same thing. 81 degrees, a little more humidity, so there could be some pop on the ball. Minus 1.5 is the run line always, but plus 150 for Colorado, minus 130 on the money line. I don't like anything really in this game other than Colorado in the first 5 to win. They get plus $1 and a nickel, and I'm going to go ahead and put a unit on it. For the fact of the matter is, they're going against Mike Fultonevich. He's 1-5, 4.31 ERA, but his peripherals are just wildly up through the moon. Gomber gives Colorado a good chance. He's a lefty. He can catch Texas off guard. Charlie Culberson, though, he's a guy to watch out for. He's dangerous against lefties, and Texas generally gets an upgrade against lefties, I will say. I'm going to point that out. But I like what Gomber can do, and I don't like what Mike Fultonevich does. So this is purely a play on just pitching. And I'm not a pitching whisperer, so this play could be completely null and void and moot and just a dud 2 innings in. But any bet can be. So I'm going to rear back and I'm going to toss one as fast as I can at the Colorado Rockies. First 5. Martin Perez, the lefty, getting a start against the Houston Astros. Jake Odorizzi, boy, he's having some rough outings. He's a righty. Okay. Here's the same head into the same wall, expecting different results thing again. I missed on Houston over 4.5 team total yesterday. I'm coming back to it again today because it's a lefty that's pitching. Boston's bats have got to wake up for at least one game in this series. And that's all I'll say on this game, because a lot of it is wager pass componentry. And I'm very passionate about these Red Sox, and I've been missing on a lot of their plays lately. I'm trying to get to the 162 total plays. Houston to win. Would they sweep the Red Sox? Maybe. We missed on the spread. This game was a 2-1 game last night. Obviously, you can't win a 1.5 run line with a 1-run victory. So Houston and Boston both had chances to get runners across. Lots of guys on. Just couldn't get it done. Boston did struggle to get folks on, though. But when they did, they still didn't do anything. If Lance Barrett is involved in an over tonight, his over-under record would be pushed to an even 500 at 5-5. Currently sits at 4-5 to the over. I'm sorry if he was involved in an under tonight. I said that wrong at the beginning. So I'm going to look at some innings in this game. I'm going to watch, probably the 2nd to the 5th inning. That's probably what will interest me the most. Odorizzi, I hope he doesn't have one of those old man strength starts where he goes 8 innings and strikes out, everybody. Old man strength is real. I should be experiencing that in 7 to 10 years. Miami, Pittsburgh. I'm looking at perhaps taking Miami. Pittsburgh is so much worse on the road. But this is such a hard play for me for the fact that Tyler Anderson's on the mound for Pittsburgh, so he at least gives them a shot there. But, Miami's offense woke up a little last night. They're getting healthier. They got Garrett Cooper back in there. Starling Marte's starting to get some run of it. They like lefties. John Berti, Ismael Diaz, they both suck against lefties. Hopefully they don't get into the lineup. Hopefully they get platooned out. Jazz Chisholm is actually doing really well right now. He's back and healthy. The Pirates, the Pirates are the Pirates. I don't know what to say more about that. So I might be looking here, honestly. And this is just ridiculous of me. And then the Marlins pitcher is in question. So maybe we get a chance. Okay, I was just looking at it. It literally just updated. Well, they went to a minus 120 favorite. So I believe a pitching, their pitcher that was listed probable today was questionable. So hold on this one. But, I do like the spot of the Marlins because They woke up a little bit last night, and now they get a favorable matchup against Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh is actually worse at home than they are on the road. So that's where I'm staying on that. The Arizona Diamondbacks take on Milwaukee. I'm going to just go ahead and skip this one over. Bud Anderson. Is it Bud or Brett? Brett Anderson on the mound for the Brewers. He gives them a really good chance here. And as long as he has a good start, obviously this team wins. But Arizona, I have not had good success betting against them as they've got that sneaky power. I've used it to my advantage in the past, but I notice when I try to target against them, it can bite me in the rear. I'm going to pass. Kansas City. Yes, at home. Bubic on the mound, the lefty. J.A. Happ, the lefty on the mound, who's struggling. He's losing his old man strength. The Minnesota Twins are losing their old people strength. Kansas City at home. Yes. Kansas City, -1.5. Yes. That's plus 160. And then I'm also going to be crazy, and I'm going to jump on Kansas City team total over 4.5. I'm going to go ahead and just do a trifecta. I love Kansas City tonight. Minnesota is struggling. They're really bad on the road, and Baltimore beat up on them last night. We were on Baltimore plus 125, and we missed the over by a hook last night. I'm not touching the total because Bubic can be a very dominant pitcher, but what I'm looking at is for the success of the Royals bats against lefties. And hey, look, I'm 8-2 in my last 10 Royals plays, and they're one of the other teams that I'm doing a journey to 162 on. So I'm making a lot of plays on these teams. I'm getting familiar with them, and Bubic is pitching really good right now. He has some weird movement, and he has a weird baseball savant page. If you want to go just check out his pitch boxes, they're really interesting. Where he places stuff, the movement, the whiff rates, the contact, the barrel percentage, it's all interesting. Royals, -115 on the money line. That's a good damn play. All those will probably be in the wager pass. Probably. I haven't got that far. I wrote my write-ups for the early games, PM games. I'm kind of just unpacking a lot of this for the first time. So White Sox, they are going against Casey Mize and the Detroit Tigers. He's not going to be the demise of these White Sox, though. Lance Lynn on the mound. White Sox -210 favorite. Over-under's 8. And here's something that's crazy. -210, but -1.5 on the run line, only even money. So I'm thinking the game script that Vegas is writing for this is the under. Dominant pitching, inefficient offense by the Detroit Tigers. Yeah. Based off the numbers alone, based off what the market's telling us right there, and based off the psychology and the D rating on the money line play, it's excuse me. I like the under. Yeah. Casey Mize, his last 2 starts. I mean, his ERA a little while ago was like almost touching 8. It's sub 3 now, or almost sub 3. It's 3.28. So looking for that. Oh yeah. And then Cincinnati on the road. I'm always looking to fade them on the road, but they're on the road at St. Louis, and Adam Wainwright's on the mound. And I'm like 0 for 2 on Adam Wainwright starts this year. I don't have a good feel for Cincinnati on the road. St. Louis, I don't really have a good feel for. I'm going to need to go ahead and back off of this one too, because, well, this Gutierrez kid for Cincinnati, he's still making a low number of starts, so we don't have a huge sample size of information on him also. But on top of all that, me personally speaking, I just don't have a good track record for these two teams right now, especially in these specific situations. Seattle, Los Angeles, Sheffield, the lefty, going for the Mariners. Griffin Canning for the Angels. I love taking overs and Canning starts. They're just kind of like always there. Tried to back Seattle as the underdog last night, and they did not help us out. 5-0 in the second inning, but the under still hit. So on the podcast yesterday, I gave the under out. All right, and then to wrap it up with the Mets and the Padres, we got a crazy pitching matchup, but we got two offenses that can absolutely erupt all at once. Taijuan Walker, Yu Darvish. I may be looking at the first 5 under here. Padres are banged up. We got a low total set already. 6.5 for the full game. 3.5 for the first 5. More value in that for me. It's at -115. Yeah. That's where I'll be. That is where I will be. And that will wrap the MLB card up. I got some Tallysight selections to click in here. As far as NBA playoffs tonight, I am going to be on the Lakers to cover. I'll pull up my Tallysight picks right now. I like the Lakers to cover. Force the game 7. I did say Lakers in 7 on the mega show that we did with Brew and the rest of the Hoopball contributors. Patrick over at Hoopball Celtics, Brett over with Hoopball Hawks. And, you know, I was wrong on the Knicks, but as Brew and I mentioned on Twitter, as soon as we saw the first game and Tom Thibodeau's aptitude to adapt and rotate some of his game plan and philosophy, you know, they were cooked. Nate McMillan outcoached, out, and then Trae Young outplayed. So that's how it went. Harden, Mr. Brad Harden hit big on the Hawks there, and he was in huge support of them. But tonight, I got the Lakers winning. I got the Lakers covering, and I'm going to go under 207.5. Chris Paul, he re-aggravated that shoulder, and you know, as he goes, Phoenix goes, and we'll see what happens. But right here, I think this is the game that gets to game 7. And then Denver, I think Portland wins to force game 7, but I think it's going to be a crazy performance. We could maybe even get some overtime, over 227 is what I'm thinking. Denver +5, like I said. But Portland to win is where I will be on that one. And we'll get 2 of these game 6s to push to game 7. I believe in it, and I think it'll be awesome. I'm hoping for it as a fan of playoff basketball. Okay, that'll do the show. And I am Devin Ellington again, in case you forgot, at DALE007 on Twitter. You can find us at the show and the rest of the group at Hoopball Gaming on Twitter. Don't forget to go to hoop-ball.com. Check out all the good stuff over there. Free stuff, team-specific content, all the podcasts, anything you could ask for. It's all over there. Check it out. Let us know what you think. We'd be more than happy to personalize some stuff for you, so just holler at us. Don't forget the promo codes. Don't forget us. Don't forget to be safe today. Be kind. I am sending you all of my good vibes and all of my good energies. With that, Today in Sports Betting is out.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.